grew up in a small town in Missouri, and I'm the oldest of 21 kids. There were 9 boys, 12 girls, no twins, same parents. And I have 4 boys of my own, and just recently I had to have the big talk with them. You know, the talk where you explain that your side of the family are all liars and they shouldn't believe anything that they say. And this happened, we were driving in the car, it was raining, and we had some of their friends in the car, and I heard my son tell his friends, my Uncle Jesse is a police officer. And I said, no, he's not a police officer. And he said, well, that's what he told me at the reunion, that he was a police officer. And I said, no, he was lying. And he said, well, what does he do? And I said, he's a demolition expert, and he has a side business of rescuing bees and moving them. And he said, then why did he lie? And that's when I knew I had to tell them. I thought they'd already had guessed, because for years, whenever anyone in my family calls, which is often, 3 or 4 of them will call a day, so that fills up most of my days. But when they call and the kids answer the phone, they never say who they are, they always lie. So I figured that my kids would have learned that they're liars, but mostly what they've learned is not to trust people who call and tell you who they actually are. So that when my friends who don't lie call and say who they are, my kids say, no it isn't, this is Suzette, this is Uncle Brian. So I thought they'd figured this out, but they hadn't, and so I had to explain this to them. And so they said, well, how do I know when they're lying then? So I said, it's pretty easy. If they tell you something that sounds normal, like I'm a police officer, that's a lie. The truth is, if they say I'm a demolition expert and blows up things and then I also rescue bees, that's the truth. If my brother tells you that he bought a dog recently, that's a lie. My family never buys animals. We acquire them, we trade for them. My mom once traded a Soloflex for a mountain goat. That's how we acquire them. And so if you say I bought a dog recently, no. But if he tells you that while he was eating lunch at work, he heard this horrible barking and screaming and gunshots, and he ran to the field nearby, and there was an albino Great Dane eating a pig and a farmer shooting at it, that's a true story. And if your grandma, I told him, if your grandma tells you that she has your birthday card and that she's going to mail it to you soon, the truth is she does have your birthday card. In fact, she has all of your birthday cards from the last 12 years. The lie is that she's going to mail it, because everyone knows there's a curse on my family and none of us are capable of mailing anything. So that's what I told the boys. This is how you tell. If someone tells you, now sometimes the truth is, stranger, I mean, my sister does lie and say she's a police officer, but for good reasons. Sometimes they lie for good reasons. Like when she knows that her neighbors next door, she's suspicious that they might be doing drugs and that they might be having teenagers over to visit, then she does tell them that she's a retired narcotics officer and that she knows that this neighborhood has recently been outfitted with cameras and the police are watching them. But she only does that for the greater good and to encourage them to make good choices. So sometimes they lie for good reasons. But this is a sad truth, and I know that my children are inheriting it because I have it too. Actually, in the first of the story, when I told you about the story in the car with my boys, it wasn't raining.